Let's get started.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live. Yo,
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
for the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
Experience.
Post Joe.
Post Joe.
Tradition, we always start off the Post Joe by reading the new Patreons. This week is no different. Let's give a big shout out to Greg Jones.
Greg Jones.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo.
Sounds like an alias to me.
No, that's my dude. That's actually his name.
Oh, there you
Good
go.
friend. Good dude. He wants to be our Jamie.
Too easy. Oh, well, there you go. That's the way
That's
to
the
start.
first step. Yes.
And then also a big shout out to Samo.
Samo.
Samurai.
Samo. $10 level.
Samo.
$10 level.
$10.
The he who will not be mentioned level.
And of course, thank you to all the
Did Brendan
Patreons.
Schaub rape someone?
Alex Anathakis.
I always thought
Gavel
that
Workman.
was mixed up anyways, Matt. Brendan Schaub shouldn't have been worth more than Brian Callen.
Well, that's how it is in real life, though.
I know, but in the order of who's important on Joe Rogan's
Well,
life.
wait a second. Is he still important, Joe? Or
Again,
was
when
it
we made that,
our history? But it could have been all a falsity, and you were right all along.
Matt just like wrote The Matrix there. He didn't even know he was doing it, but he was doing it.
Exactamundo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be rich.
Could I just like to show you that, I don't know if you saw this. You're not on.
I logged on yesterday and I
Okay.
saw it, of course.
So someone just sent, one of our friends just sent that. That's you.
Yeah.
Just sent that and said, I think you should do some sort of announcement to let your podcast fans know that Colin Kaepernick is now a full-time guest.
Oh,
Not Colin Kaepernick. I also thought he looked like he was in like a ska band or like Rage, one or the other.
Yeah, it was great. You look like you're in a reggae band.
22 years ago.
Like a young
22
Bob
years ago.
Marley. I wanted to find a picture of me with a huge fro to throw up to be with you, but I have no pictures of me from like.
I have it.
You
I
do?
have
Yeah,
one.
You do have it.
Yeah.
And you have your fro?
I never had a fro.
No, but you had hair down to your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't have
It's a white guy fro.
Oh,
I mean, unless you got a perm, it's the equivalent.
I see.
The,
It's
just
true.
the long hair stage.
I assume that, I don't remember what your dad's hair looks like, Matt, but I assume that he always had really long hair while you were growing up. No?
No, never. He was a cop. He had like short, like
Oh, you
buzz
needed
cut.
to have
He
a
had
buzz
dickhead
cut.
hair forever. Yeah.
Good hair.
I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my YouTube clip of me doing stand-up. 17 of you. Really appreciate the support.
You know what, Kamar? This is crazy. And this tells you that I spend too much time on my phone. But I watched your live stream of, I don't even know what the fuck you
Wow,
were doing.
that was very interesting, eh?
It was
Thank you everyone who watched that.
super weird.
Yeah.
I felt super weird doing it. I felt like I was voyeuring on you
Yeah.
because you didn't know I was watching you.
No, I did not.
How did you not know? It says like Simon is watching.
Does it?
I think it does, but
Yeah. Anyone who logs on.
Well,
it
why
says,
didn't you say something?
oh
if you
no,
could
but
see me?
would it have come up as Bigfoot Sighting Society?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Was
and
it
you couldn't
through
have figured that
Instagram?
out?
Yeah, it must have been through Instagram.
It's. Have you ever done it before?
What, a live stream?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's a no.
No, yeah.
So, anyways,
I thought he meant he did a lot of them.
so you start it up, and then people start popping on and ask questions, and you're having a conversation, and you're trying to scroll back, and you're like, in the head, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is so silly. But then questions came up, and it sort of got a flow going.
But then, like, who did you connect on there that you were so proud of?
Marty and Drew.
Marty, Drew. Yeah.
It was cool. I just think if you do it, you have to sort of come with an intention.
Well,
Like,
my wife jumped on. This is what started the
That
whole
was
thing. My
humiliating.
wife jumped on, and I hear Kamar go, "Oh, Halima, you don't belong here. Get out of here right away. Get out." And my wife's like, "What is he talking about?" I'm like, "Get out of there! Get out of there!"
no, but I just assumed it'd be people who watch the show,
Well, my wife follows you, and she follows the show.
obviously. But it was just a Q&A, whatever came up, and it just got really weird, really fast.
Oh my god, it was so funny though, because I wasn't watching what she was doing, and I just hear Kamar say, "You don't belong here. Get out of here."
I'm gonna do it again, but I need an intention. But thank you everyone who checked out my YouTube.
Way to go, follow
Kamar,
Kamar.
someone yesterday said to me, they go, you know, Kamar does these weather things. And I go, yeah, I'm well aware. And he goes, but he does them like every day, right? And I go, yes, I'm also well aware. And he goes, he's really serious though. And I go, yeah, no, I know. He goes, but he has more posts than followers. And I went, yeah, well, that's how you kind of got to get something going. And he was like, okay, cool.
Well,
What do you mean? You have more than 500 posts?
He's been doing it every day for 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Do the math, asshole. This fucking guy doesn't even believe the plants will kill you. And he's talking to me like I'm an asshole. Jesus Christ.
I have 1,100 posts.
Holy shit. Wow.
Well, that makes me feel so good. I didn't realize that you were supposed to, like, I must have.
Oh, that's not how it works. It's not
Oh,
like
no. I feel great now.
Oh.
I
Kumar,
have 50 posts and 500 followers.
Are those all
Way better than me.
Are those all weather?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, the majority though.
Because I thought you
And,
got rid of everything pre-weather.
No.
Okay, you kept everything up there.
I don't have the wherewithal to do that.
That's fine.
But I don't use hashtags at all. Someone said that's my
I
problem.
think
That is your
hashtags
hugest
actually
problem.
kill the thing. I think they're
Kill the thing.
I think you can. I heard somewhere. This is so stupid. I want the fuck off Instagram. But I heard somewhere that if you use more than like 3 hashtags, it overloads the system, and you have something called hashtag overload. And maybe that's my problem with the podcast. Because, and I think that's recent that happened, Matt. It was like when they
3
changed
hashtags, really?
something like that. There's like some magic number. I put
Just
30
them
in
trying to take
because
more
30 is the
control.
maximum. So I think, oh, that's the best way
Yeah.
to do it. But I'm old. You know, you got to be in on like the latest shit. If you don't watch 6ix9ine, he tells you in like one of his fucking raps or something.
This week, if I'm going to use hashtags every day, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to stop doing the weather.
Or just use 3 hashtags and see what
Three
happens.
hashtags a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, and if it doesn't work, I'll quit.
No. That's what you're throwing out there?
No, I want out, but I don't know how.
But it keeps pulling me back.
I don't know how.
Every day the weather keeps happening. I don't know what to do.
It just keeps pulling me back in. Just when I thought I was, it looked like a sunny day.
I'm definitely running out of historical facts.
He just wakes up one day and it's pure blackness, and he's like, "Fucking finally." That's death.
So there was something you wanted to talk
Jesus,
about,
that's
Simon.
fucking morbid, man.
There was something you want to talk about.
Yeah, you
Oh
specifically.
yeah. Okay.
You want to
So
remind you.
I mean, I don't appreciate. First of all, I don't appreciate your little bubble rant. Okay, because I listen to lots of things, and I don't listen to Tim Pool. I fucking hate
Calm
the
down.
guy.
We're all, I meant
That
like,
was what you wanted to remember?
No, that was something I wanted to
And
add.
aside.
Simon, we're all in bubbles. Take it
No,
fucking
but I
down a peg.
really don't like Tim Pool. I think he's a fucking asshole.
Okay.
But hold on, wait. Well,
When
I'm not-
he turned into a Trump supporter, I stopped listening.
Okay,
to
well,
him.
I don't care about the Trump supporter thing, but I thought that you still listened to him. I thought you thought he might be an asshole.
Only out of hate listen now
But you do
to
still-
see that
okay.
what he's up to. But the same way I would listen to like CNN to see what they're up to.
That's fine.
Yeah.
For the record, I haven't watched
I
or seen
used to
CNN
think-
in years.
When he was on Rogan and he was talking to the Twitter dude, I thought he was like the voice of reason, Tim Pool.
Yeah.
I thought, Joe brought him on to be that voice guy.
To ask the right questions.
That's why I started listening to him in the first place. And I have literally watched this guy transform from that to
Something completely different.
full fucking MAGA hat wearing.
And you think he's chasing the money, and that's why he's an asshole?
Either he's chasing the money or he got pushed over there. Either way, I don't like what he's up to.
It can't be he knows something you don't know.
No, it could be that, but I don't. That's not where I want to be right now. You know what I mean?
I forgot to mention, Tom Papa does a Breaking Bread with Tom, with Joe right after.
Oh, nice.
So in that vein of the Lex Friedman.
Yeah. I'm gonna
follow
listen
up.
to that because I'm done doubting you, Kamar.
For
No,
those-
I never got to say what my
no,
thing
so-
was. That was just me telling Matt not to fuck around, because that was now gonna lead me into this crazy conspiracy that I heard.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Which is, okay, so Trump, this whole thing, this whole presidency, everything has been one giant long con in order for him to start his own television network. And he's going to lose this election. And then right after he loses, he's going to start Trump TV. And what he's done is he's given himself this giant base of people who are already watching. And that's what you need if you want to like make a television network to compete against an existing behemoth. You have to come in. It's like trying to start a new Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need
gotta
to come
got
in with a
lot of
huge
fucking
base.
clout.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done over the past 4 years. And that's why he doesn't give a fuck about this election. That's why he's been just telling everybody to go out there and fucking, Proud Boys do this, that guy do that, whatever, man. I don't give a fuck.
He's just making
because
noise.
I just want to start Trump TV.
Or will
And
he,
that's where all the fucking money is going to be.
or will
Well, let
he
me.
go the way of Tekashi?
Well, no. What I was going to ask you though is, so what happens when he gets reelected?
Well, that's a problem. No, it's not even a problem for it. It just means that he gets
Yeah.
4 more years to build
he's getting
his
old.
brand. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say it's all for his kids, but I don't think he gives a fuck about his kids.
Well, one of them he cares about.
You know what, though? Listen, if he loses, which is totally possible, who knows what's going to happen? But if he does lose and right away starts a television network, let's head for the fucking country. No, I'm serious, man. Like, let's just fucking
He won't lose.
leave
though.
it all behind.
There's no way he loses. No
Rupert
way.
Murdoch's 89. Still going strong. So
Yeah. And especially if these rich motherfuckers, like we've been saying all along, have these life expectancy things that they've been hoarding from us forever to keep themselves alive. This guy could live till he's like 300, dude.
But how do we not know? Maybe they're already 300. Maybe that's the you know what I mean?
Maybe he is. Maybe he's like 1,000. Maybe he was part of like the
just playing.
civilizations I talk about. There was like this guy
Anunnaki.
way back in Mayan times with this big yellow lock of hair. Dude, I'm going to start looking back in history and seeing who had the big yellow locks of hair.
just find out who wins the most fights, who punches first. And all your answers will be there.
No,
I'm
but
going to find that stuff.
how about that for a fucking conspiracy theory? The Trump network.
Not bad.
TNN.
Trump News Network.
That's what he'd call it too.
No, he'd
just
call
to
it Real
fuck with
News Network.
CNN. Isn't he just the type
RNN.
He's
Real
just
News
that
Network.
type of just that type of what's his name? Not Seinfeld, but Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry David.
Yeah, build the spite store.
Yeah,
He
but
just
Trump,
starts TNN.
knowing Trump, it would be like,
No, it's all for the money.
Oh, yeah. It would be all spite, though. All spite all the time.
It's a lot of spite, but it's all for the money.
A couple random stories. Dangerfields is closing.
that's sad.
Just last week, they're saying, yeah, that place is still
Where
open.
is that?
in New
Apparently,
York
the
City.
mob is not recession
Well,
proof.
that's what I was saying. But,
Apparently, the mob is not. Why they own that place still?
That's
well, that's what they inferred,
Yeah.
that why it's, no matter what, if it's dead or whatever, it's still running. But Mike Ward is stepping up and trying to buy into it and save it.
Mike Ward, the
Canadian?
Canadian.
Yeah.
so he's apparently his court case didn't cost him that much.
Oh, no, he's a millionaire. Like, he has fuck off money.
Oh, okay. Good for
From
him.
what?
Quebec comedy.
Oh, yeah, he's huge.
You got to
He's
realize,
huge.
Simon, that industry, like that,
Just in the province.
that demographic is like an untapped resource where you can
Because there are
fucking hit
no
it.
French comedians.
And
Oh, no, there's not a lot.
There
There's-
are, and
there
they're all
are.
supported. There's
Yeah.
money in it. Like, there's cultural support for the arts, whether it be a
true.
comic,
Yeah.
a musician, a
Well,
dancer.
why is he trying to buy the club in New York then? Shouldn't he be
he
trying
loves
to buy
comedy?
clubs
He
in
loves
like
comedy.
Quebec City?
He loves comedy.
I'm sure he's also smart. And like I said, if he sees the writing on the wall, he might get it for a fucking steal. And then down the road, 10 years, 5 years from now, when New York does come back, like I think it will.
I just thought it was interesting because they talked last
That
week.
is
about
interesting.
yeah,
kids
it
around
is
town all the time.
interesting. Yeah.
And it remains to be seen whether he will save it, but that'd be cool. Do you guys hear who's going to be on this Friday on Joe Rogan?
No.
Kanye West.
No.
Oh, I heard a rumor that he was
I
going
mean,
to
I
be
heard
on.
I
actually.
saw the
Yeah.
fucking, I don't buy it.
You think
though.
that's going to happen?
Well, he showed the FaceTime conversation and said, Joe said I could redecorate the interview for our podcast on Friday.
What kind of asshole wants to redecorate someone else's studio for their appearance?
I had a
What
bit of
kind
that feeling. But he's just a crazy artist. Your space has got to be, I don't know.
It already looks like a Kanye West fucking shoe.
Yeah, maybe he'll walk in and go,
It's
damn,
perfect.
it's perfect. Like I made her just sign his name and say it's mine.
If Joe was smart, he'd be like, your people are already here. And Kanye would be like,
Dude,
perfect.
that would be the best. He just comes in, he puts like Yeezy and whatever that stupid number is on the supply, Done. It's like Off-White. Isn't that how Off-White works? They just put Off-White on an existing Nike and they're done.
Well, no, you have to say what every part is. Swoosh, Nike. You know what I mean? It says what everything is. Shoelace.
Yeah, it's like a retardo shoe.
In the mean way?
Yeah, in the mean way. Like you don't know what your fucking shoelaces are and we got to remind you.
A retardo shoe.
It's like did Off-White do an IKEA collection? Am I right there? Yeah.
You are correct. Yeah. Carpet.
Yeah, carpet. Yeah.
Branding. It's everything.
They did a bunch of stuff, but the carpet was like I believe the most sought after.
It looked like a receipt.
They had a bunch of different ones. They had one that was like grass, looked like grass, and it said carpet on it. I'm pretty
Crossed out. Everything's always crossed out with them.
sure. You're so old.
I know. It's sad.
But with the new Joe Rogan format, if he were to be on Joe Rogan next Friday, we can look for
on what? Sorry, on Jug Ruggan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
It's Joe's evil twin, Jug Ruggan.
Joe Hogan.
If Kanye is going to be on next Friday, we'll probably hear it in January.
Well, that's interesting because I heard Randall Carlson was going to be on next Friday, so maybe it's a joint podcast with Kanye and Randall.
But no, Randall Carlson could be on.
That's not true.
Randall Carlson could
Just
be
for
on
you, man.
Wednesday and come out on Friday anyways.
That's weird that we're going to have to listen to Randall Carlson on a throwback and he's coming on. I didn't know that was happening.
That would be very interesting and very good for a good comparison rather than just using our memories. Anyways,
Or it could be Randall Carlson overload.
the clock is ticking on Kanye West.
That's interesting. I mean, keep in mind, we did this before.
Yep.
You see, and I have a huge problem here because Kamar, you don't know this because we've been keeping it from you. But Kamar texted me a while ago and was like, should we tell Maddie about this? And he sent me this screenshot.
Why are you doing this?
Because I think it plays into what we're talking about.
This doesn't help anything.
It helps. It helps.
It just shows us in our tinfoil hats. Like, anyways,
he sends me this. It's you and your tinfoil hat. Don't pull me into your bullshit.
Oh my God, if someone doesn't tell me.
He sends me this screenshot of this, like, it's like a black person's hand and it says, blessing the new studio, or I don't know, some whatever. And
but he's the guy that works with Dave Chappelle.
I'm telling this story, Kamar. So I text Kamar. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, that's Dave Chappelle's assistant. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Joe's studio. You can clearly see that. And I'm like, and he says, so should we tell Maddie or should we wait for it to happen?
I'm glad you didn't.
To make your day. You know what I mean? Like he
that's not
wanted it to be
happening.
this giant surprise and he's convinced this is going to happen. And I'm waiting day after day after day after day after day after day after day. Fuck, man. Who was it? It was nobody's hand.
Ron Funches.
No, he was there.
And then Kamar, when I finally call him on, he's like, yeah, but it could be recorded. It could come out at any time.
He's still holding on to it.
But I didn't think we'd ever have this conversation. So,
So,
I was
but
so
whose hand
happy
do we
for you.
think it was now?
It was Adam Curry, I think.
It was
Is Adam Curry's black hand?
No, it must have been his assistant. Adam Curry's assistant is black.
or knows him, like they work
Oh, okay.
together. He
Gotcha.
it
happened
was
to be in-
definitely a black hand. I'll give Kamar that.
Anyways, I was happy for you, excited, and
Has he had a African American guest in the new studio yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mike Tyson and
Roy Jones
Roy
Jr.
Jones,
and
but-
this
and
guy.
the Republican.
yeah, I'm talking
No,
comedian
no.
or
But he's had a black guest. I mean, I'll pull up.
I'm talking just comedian.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
talking black
Just hold
guest.
on, hold
Totally,
on.
sorry, I
think
misspoke.
I think he did though. So just hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. You keep talking, Kamar.
There's gonna be a Dexter revival. How do you guys feel about that?
That show was garbage for the last 4 or 5 seasons. And why would you resurrect it? There are so many better shows you could resurrect at
But
this point.
you guys watched it?
You know what the real problem with that
all,
show
all
was?
7 seasons.
The problem with that show was that in real life he was married to the sister, and then they got divorced while they were still making the show.
What
I'm pretty
date
sure.
did
So that's
they
interesting.
start? Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. What date did they start in the
September 1st,
September 1st?
or September 1st.
You had to watch them act through a divorce.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, now you
that's like a
mention it, yeah.
special card that you go back and watch.
Yeah.
Right at this point, they were together,
Yeah.
and at this point,
You
they
can
were.
you can see after episode 7 where it really hits the fucking.
I dabbled in it, but it just got so ridiculous. I do not know how they bring it back. And
I assume they'll do a prequel, like Dexter as a teenager, right?
in our neck of the woods, there's a Corner Gas cartoon.
That's been out for a while.
I know, but did it have to be a Corner Gas?
Corner Gas was huge.
And then you make a cartoon. It's just recycling stuff. Like it.
They did it with the Trailer Park Boys too.
Do you think there was a Trailer Park Boys cartoon?
I think so. Yeah,
I don't know that.
I believe so. Yeah.
I guess that's you just merchandise the shit out of it. I just thought.
Also, if you get old, but people still love the character, you just do the voice, right? Like no one really probably wants to see Ricky and Julian get old, but if you can just animate them,
It's way better than having studios or on set.
That too, yeah.
Sorry, I want to join into this conversation, but I don't want to forget. Those two guys were the first two black people he's had on, Roy.
And Mike Tyson?
Tyson was in another studio.
Other
I think,
studio.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. So it was just those two.
Because they made the table bigger. So no, it had to be that studio. But he wasn't. I'm confused. Hold on.
Go further back than September 1st.
Well, no, because we know that Miley Cyrus was the first guest, and that was September 1st. So you're right on there, Matt. Hold on. Maybe I just missed Tyson. Maybe I wasn't. Yeah, Mike Tyson was the next guest. I'm such an asshole.
So the
It's all
three,
good.
yeah. So no black comedians though. So
No.
the black hand was.
So it could have been somebody's assistant. I mean, that's so racist, but it could have been somebody's assistant.
Or it could have happened and then pulled.
Hold on. Who posts a photo of their assistant's hand on Instagram?
Maybe he was holding Dave's camera. That was Kamar's logic. Like I'm not. It wasn't my thing, man.
It's fine.
I didn't
it's
think
fine.
Dave was. Coming
Either way,
on.
guys. Thanks for not hitting me up because that would have been. I don't know that I could have handled disappointment like that.
I remain to say the clock is ticking on Kanye.
Right, exactly. I'm with you, Kamar.
Do you guys know who James O'Keefe is?
Sounds familiar.
So James O'Keefe is Project Veritas.
Yes.
And they were talking about him on the Tim Dillon podcast.
Heard a whole interview with him, actually.
He's a real intense guy.
Very intense.
Like no sort of humor about him.
Which one is
no,
Project?
he has humor. He's a very intense dude.
He's very intense.
Which one is Project Veritas? Are those the guys that fight for the people
They
that are
put out
wrongly
like real
accused,
no.
or-
They put out like real news stories. Apparently, they
They
undercover
did the,
guys.
Okay.
the Twitter saying they cancel people or do stuff.
Yeah.
And didn't they run the story for Edward
Hey,
Snowden
Mike.
or
Hey, you're talking off mic there, Paolo.
weren't they the ones who ran the story for either Edward Snowden or Julian Assange?
They've done a
Yeah,
number.
Project Veritas. They're the ones who did that.
I just wanted to clarify so I didn't.
It's all like secret camera stuff.
Hidden camera,
like
yeah.
people not. So it feels like it might be, it could be sketchy or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's why Joe was saying when Joe's describing it to Tim Dillon, he's saying some guy or whatever. But then this guy puts a tape together going, he knows who I am because the one video of the ballot stuffing was a guy's own Snapchat.
Okay.
So he got that guy's Snapchat, and that's the evidence of his car full of ballots. It wasn't them with a hidden camera entrapping someone, like putting a bunch of ballots in your car, then walking up to you and going,
Yeah.
see. And so he's just saying, there's no way I could have doctored this. But everyone's saying it could be deceitful.
That's what
or
the
whatever.
Project Veritas guy said.
About this particular story that broke, and he wants on Joe Rogan to clear his name, and apparently he's doing some big lawsuits against all the newspapers that said it was deceitful.
So like I said, I heard a big long interview, like a 3-hour type interview with this guy. At some points he's a prick for sure, but at no point did I feel like he was lying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like he was like a liar who was making up like conspiracy stories to get rich. So
I put him in a early Alex Jones when he was just more exposing stuff. Like
do not compare him to
No,
Alex
but-
Jones. That's totally unfair, I think.
To whom?
I think comparing this Project
It's
Veritas
unfair to
guy.
Veritas guy?
Yes,
Okay.
to
Yeah. That's what I was
Veritas,
asking.
yeah.
Was it unfair to
Yeah,
Alex
yeah.
Jones?
No,
or-
nothing is unfair to Alex
Well,
Jones.
that's where I was.
No. But I mean, granted, like I said, Alex Jones
He was
gets things
protesting-
right,
That's
but
why-
he throws a lot of shit at the wall.
but no, I
you
mean
know?
more. He was protesting at Waco. Like,
Right. Yes.
like,
He was early. Yeah.
serious without a voice. You know what I mean? The right intention. The problem is if all he just exposed liberal
Yeah.
stuff or whatever, then it seems like it's QAnon or.
And I could totally be wrong, right? Like I don't have a flawless nose. I mean, I have a great nose, but not a flawless nose for bullshit, right? Like
I mean, it's not a flawless
I just
nose.
heard one interview with the guy, but as
feel.
far as I know, Project Veritas gets a really bad rap.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's because where do you hear about it? You hear about it on mainstream media, and what is mainstream media? A bunch of fucking old men who are trying to cover their asses.
Back to where we are.
They don't tell you stories about Epstein. They don't tell you stories about anything that's going to fucking hurt their reputation.
So he wants on Joe bad.
You know
He does,
why?
eh?
It's
I
'cause
wonder if Joe's going to have him on.
I wonder too. I
all
don't know.
all the control rooms are on Pedo Island for COVID. Like CNN's control room where they're like camera 1, camera 4, go to that story, camera 4. They're all on Pedo Island.
Probably.
MSNBC.
Can I tell you another thing? Just that kind of occurred to me the other day. Please. I was watching this this thing land. It looked like a spaceship. I didn't see it with my own video. On video. Spaceship Landing. And I was like, oh shit, that's cool. It was like, cause it was like a landing, like a very smooth landing down, like Elon's spaceship can do coming back now, which we don't even know if that's true because all those videos are coming from Elon. But if that is true and he has that kind of control of his rockets, this is what it was. And then I looked closer and I was like, oh shit, that's underwater that this is happening. It was like at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. They had landed this like... looked like a rocket ship. It must have been some, I don't know. It must have been some...
submarine.
No, I don't think there were humans in it. I know there weren't.
Was it us, you're saying? We
yeah,
launched
it was
this
us.
thing? Oh, okay, I thought
we
you were
sent
saying...
it down
okay,
there.
gotcha.
They were like trying to get as deep as we've ever gone into the ocean. And then I started thinking, holy shit. So I thought that underwater was space. Space is just kind of like the sky underwater sky. Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, okay, so look, you're flying, you're in your rocket ship, and all of a sudden you go through whatever it is, the Van Allen belt or whatever that, where
the firmament,
called the atmosphere.
To you, it's the firmament because after the firmament, there's nothing. I'm not saying that. There is space. I'm not saying space doesn't exist. I'm saying all space is, though, is underwater sky. We are surrounded by underwater and underwater. It's
okay, hold on.
Simple.
Don't listen. You can't give me that look and be super frustrated. Like, how the fuck are you not on board here? I'm trying my hardest.
So look, like, let's just say this is the. I don't know what's going on up there. I don't know what we're living on. Okay, I don't know if it's this or whatever it is. But when you get into space off of this ball,
yeah,
there's like. I think they call it the Van Allen belt. I might be getting it confused with another name.
The atmosphere.
But like when you drive through it,
it's atmosphere.
That is the equivalent of you diving into the ocean. Okay?
Yeah, but well, okay, sure.
So right here, where the air stops and space begins,
atmosphere.
That is just the ocean, the sky ocean. And then down here, you have the Earth ocean. So theoretically, like the alien ships that live at the bottom of the ocean. This is a perfect example, okay? They hide out at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
They fly up all the way to the top of the ocean. Do you see what I just did there?
It says Joe Rogan.
Dude, I absolutely do not.
No, but it's the same thing.
It's not.
Yeah, no, that's possible. No. As is above is below.
Thank you, Kumar.
I was wanting to talk about Bert Kreischer, but we can talk about
No, let's talk more about Bert Kreischer. It deserves more ragging on.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch it.
It's true, but you totally understand the concept. He brought on celebrities that he's calling his friends. Only some of them were his friends. Some of them are just acquaintances that he knows from Hollywood since he got.
I just want to know. I just want to know the control. If it's all him. Or if it's someone.
Well, he said to, this is why I think it was all him, Kumar. Because he said to the guy with the spiky hair. What's that guy's name? Who was with Haley Cuoco.
Oh, Joel McHale.
Yeah, Joel. He said, Joel said, this is how you wanted this to go when they went fishing. Remember, he put Miss Pat into that thing and he was like, no. Horrible. I had this totally planned differently in my head. You should hear all the stuff I had to leave on the cutting room floor. Like I think these were his ideas. I just, which is so weird because Bert is, but then I wonder like maybe Tom is because Two Bears, One Cave. Maybe that he's just being reined in by Tom there. I just
think format wise, half the time, it started with the end of the day.
Yeah, talking to his wife.
Talk to his wife or them sitting around by the fire. Like, what have we learned today?
Right.
And then it went to
why did
show how we get there.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I think they thought it was genius. But I think if they had just done the beginning of the day, end of the day, and that sequence, it would have made
weird.
sense.
You're right, because that was weird. But that wasn't my problem.
The intention was, I guess, they showed this part, and then we show how we got there.
You explained to me why Caitlyn Jenner was there, and then I can accept some part of this. But I can't, if it's the premise of the show is I'm inviting my friends up to this cabin in the woods to hang out. Where does she fit in?
I mean, I'll meet you here. You could, if you hadn't watched it, argue, well, I mean, they all live in LA. They're all kind of famous.
But they're not friends.
Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Having seen the 5 minutes that I saw, it doesn't play out that way at all. They're clearly not friends. Doesn't even seem like she wants to be there or likes him.
All she does is make fun of him, and really meanly, frankly, and gets away with it because he can't make fun of her.
I mean, at the same time, though, I'm not certain that you're supposed to bring up, like, make a huge deal of the fact that they used to have a dick, used to be like this buff. Like, Bert really made a point of, my dad was a huge fan of you when you had a penis.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I don't know. I'm not, but it seemed like watching it, I was thinking to myself, like, is this like dead naming? Do you know what I mean? Like, because now it's Caitlyn, and I think he's kind of moved on. Has moved on from that. And
so you just never supposed to talk about what
Simon,
she did as a man? No, I'm genuinely asking.
That's what I'm saying. It's a thought experiment that I had while watching
Have you heard?
it.
Sorry, I feel like I'm yelling. Have you heard any flack that Bert has gotten from that episode?
I've not heard.
Like, did
any
he handle
flack
it
from
badly, or is anybody
the Netflix show?
Yeah,
No,
from the Caitlyn Jenner episode.
it's getting positive reviews.
That's what. So, I mean, nobody else is seeing that.
I'm just, again, I was saying while watching it, I thought to myself, "Is this cool? Like,
I thought the same thing, but then she talked about it so freely, Caitlyn.
Again, I agree, but then I thought to myself,
Did she
like,
call herself Bruce at one point? Like making reference to her
to like
being
her
Bruce
former
at
self.
that
I don't
point?
know, and that's what I was saying.
I
Is
think she might have third-personed it, a la Roy Jones Jr.
Listen,
and then it's like, did Bruce kill that woman in the car?
I have no, yeah, thank you. I have no problem with trans people. That's not what this is about. I have a problem with her. Like, exactly my point. She killed somebody. It's never talked about. Like, she can go on there and just be like, listen, I get it. Bert's a big boy. He doesn't need my help. She was fucking rude. Rude. And if she was a dude and she had talked to Bert like that, he would have roasted the shit out of her.
What I think is
not hurt her, but like, he's a comedian. He could have fucking.
Why are you telling me like this? I know exactly.
No. I just. Yeah.
What I think the situation is.
I don't know. I look to you as the reasonable person.
No, I'm not.
I don't know why, because of the whole social media thing. Sorry. Sorry, Kamar. Sorry.
What I think the situation is they all probably had fun. The 8-12 hours that took to do, hanging out, doing whatever, the whole experience.
You think Caitlyn Jenner had fun?
We only see 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it was edited properly, or it emulated or displayed what was going on.
Here's the weird thing. Like, this is like,
the cat was beautiful.
This is a good thing to bring up. Caitlyn Jenner's on the show for what? Like, what does
Check a box.
she get out of it? Because, like, she goes on there and is like, I have 10 million followers. And you could tell that by the way Bert's jaw hit the floor, she's obviously a way bigger pull than he is. Like, how did they get her on there is the real question.
Here's my prediction, Matt.
Okay.
She's about to do a show on Netflix.
Oh, and Netflix forced it upon.
Both of them.
Because the Kardashians got canceled, right?
Yeah, that's not a Netflix show, though. But
no, but that was the point, is if the Kardashians got
but
canceled.
But she wasn't on that show. She was hardly on that show, I think.
Okay.
And we're talking about it. So
but no. I think that now that I didn't think of it before, but the second you said that, I was like, yeah, she's about to do a show on Netflix, and that's why she's on it. She has no business being on there, Matt. They're not friends. They don't run in the same circles. She's not a comedian.
No, and I agree. So I was thinking, what could Bert do to get a much bigger pull than him on the show?
Netflix did it.
Well, that's my question, yeah.
But Bert probably didn't want her on the show. A bigger pull... He got plenty of big comedians to be on that show. He didn't need her.
No, I'm not talking about a big comedian, though. I'm talking about like a big star.
Yeah. I just don't think he needed it.
Okay. I get your position. If he goes on Joe Rogan,
yeah,
and they don't talk about it.
If he goes,
well, hold on. I'm already.
Joe should ask. So, what was it like working with Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah.
Well, I already got to say,
of course they'll talk about it.
And if they don't,
then what does that mean?
a la Brian Callen, a la Crystalia. It'll just be interesting.
But here's
because if he doesn't badmouth her, you mean?
Or whatever happens will be interesting.
my question is, has that one already been recorded?
What, Joe Rogan, Bert Kreischer?
You're sure it's been done.
Well,
What are you guys talking
Because the
about?
Netflix special to promote it.
Well, because look, Bert would have been on already to promote this thing, heavy.
To promote,
This show that's
The Netflix
already
show
premiered.
That's out.
yeah. But I thought you said, because last time you said, no, he's saving it for his, he has a Netflix special coming out.
Oh, this is what I was talking about.
Oh, you were
This-
talking about this thing.
Yes. I didn't realize it came out this soon, so I figured Bert would have been on
Oh, he would have had to been on 2 weeks ago.
or last week. It just came out.
It'd be a real slow roll. No. It didn't just, did it just come out?
Yeah, it just came out, yeah.
If he goes on Rogan, it should be addressed. For
100
whatever. It should be
100%.
talked about. And if it
100%.
isn't, it's suspect.
I mean, for sure, but I wasn't even thinking that.
But
I was
we were
just-
anticipating him coming up to help release a special.
I find this interesting now. Why has he not been on Rogan to promote this huge thing that he had going
He's
on?
bigger than Rogan now.
Is he too big for Rogan?
Too big for Rogan.
Is he big time in Rogan?
Thus far, have you guys seen any problems with Sober October?
No, I haven't even
I
noticed.
forgot that Joe was even doing Sober October. Oh, yeah, he talked about it, though.
But to be honest, I haven't noticed him like smoking a copious amount of weed in
Texas.
the new. Yeah, so
Maddie, I don't know if you noticed, but he almost, Adam ruined everything, Tom Papa. It took a lot of control for Joe not to be
know.
a total fucking asshole there.
I think it took a lot for Tom also to be like, maybe we just move on.
Sober October.
A little
That is
sharp around the
all-
edges.
That is
A little
all
sharp around
Sober
the edges.
October. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you saw it right there with Tom Papa. That was weird.
It's true. And his hatred towards vegetables out of nowhere, just immediate.
Well, that's just him seeing the light.
Well, I mean, now I guess he just looks at it like every vegetable looks at me like I'm wearing a fucking tie and something has to be done about this.
Thank you. Joe is going to act totally different when he goes out into the woods now.
Maybe, yeah.
He's hunting the deer and he's being hunted by everything else around
Yeah.
him.
Am I in the tree or is the tree holding me?
Something like that's meta, man.
Just on the Reddit page, a couple of Redditors reached out and said they like Sober October.
Really?
So there's someone out there. I think it was 3 people.
Wow.
You asked for people
I
to say
did.
they like
I
it.
did. And
So
3 of them
there are
responded.
some. Thank you for
No, sorry.
checking the
Did
Reddit.
they say they liked Sober October like they went along with it, or they liked Sober October like they liked watching Joe during Sober October?
One was they like the get together when they talk,
Okay.
and
Well,
the,
that's not going to happen.
the other was just Sober October. They didn't say in the context of what they like about it, but I think it was the observance for a month of doing it.
When I think about
That
it,
was David Goggins and
Allah.
when I think about it now, I love the idea of an entire month. If we all got on board of an entire month where no one was drunk, I could so get on board with that.
no
But
one
that's
was
not-
drunk.
Yeah,
None of us drink.
I meant in the world.
Oh,
Like,
whole month
like if
of
I
Sober
knew that I
October.
went out in October and anywhere I went, I wouldn't run into a drunk person. That would be fucking incredible.
Like World Earth Day, when you're
Do
supposed to
you
turn off the
run
lights.
into a
in your
lot
car.
of drunk people? Whoa.
Well, I mean, do you run?
Do you run into a lot of drunk people?
I just got one crazy story I want to share, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, do you?
Well, like, okay, just real quick. I play video games with people online. A lot of them are drunk and they think it's no big deal. They're like, what? It's fine. I'm fine. I'm like, well, A, you're shit at the game and it's dragging us all down. And B, you're super annoying. You told me the same story 6 fucking times. You're loud. You're eating chips in my ear. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Kumar.
Well, just because you don't really go anywhere anymore, so
It's a fucking
you
lockdown.
wouldn't run into drunk people. That's what I'm saying.
This is going to be a rough one. The U.S. is executing the first woman in 67 years.
Which state? Alabama.
I think it's Indiana.
Indiana.
I think so.
Wow.
I could check it by the story.
Never would have fucking
But
guessed
the-
What did she do?
Exactly.
that. Wow.
She went to this 23-year-old's house to buy a puppy. The 23-year-old was pregnant. She strangled the 23-year-old, cut the baby out of her stomach, and kept it for her own. The baby survived.
What did she do to the puppy?
There was no puppy. She didn't go to buy the puppy.
No, well, there obviously was a puppy. She went to buy a puppy.
Nothing happened to the puppy.
She didn't hurt the puppy.
The puppy did not get hurt.
That was the part of the story that you're the
Sorry,
most concerned
can you
about?
repeat?
Oh
I,
my God.
I was only thinking about the puppy. What did she cut the baby out of the woman and kept the baby
And the
alive?
baby survived 8
How did they
months.
find her?
Forensic, data.
So they
or
went to this bitch's house and she was raising this cutout kid.
yeah,
That's some Ozark shit, dude.
the kid survived.
Wow. That kid's gonna have a crazy story.
And I believe she's going to die from lethal injection. But the defense is saying she's mentally ill. Like she has if you read what her upbringing was like it's fucked up shit out there. But
So I don't know. I don't agree with fucking
what do you
punishment anyway.
What do you think about that? Well, we know what Matt thinks already, but what do you think about that? So you have this person who's obviously sick.
yeah,
Like,
I think I call it euthanasia.
How about this then?
that they should be killed?
Fine, then use the guillotine. Don't use lethal injection. First of all, do you know this? So they can't have any doctors present during a lethal injection because it's against their code of conduct.
They can't be involved in the death.
Precisely. A doctor cannot actively be, it's against their code of conduct that they swear. So the people,
Why do you like the guillotine better?
because it's been proven to be less painful.
You're just talking about. I was asking you though, like, should that person be killed, not whether they should be killed by gas or a fucking sword.
Listen, I think it's insane that the state thinks that they should kill people. I mean, two wrongs don't make a right? Like we agree with that.
But they should be locked up forever and ever and ever, never parole, no,
Of course,
nothing.
yeah.
That
I'm with
seems
that.
just as evil. Caging someone up for the rest of their
Well,
life.
that's the point. If that, to me, that's more evil. Death is like a release for those people. Keep them alive forever.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing them a favor by letting them die, especially if it isn't like a heaven and hell thing. It's just a consciousness thing, and you're just releasing them into a fucking better place. Like, fuck that.
Like that guy that was on the bus and cut the guy's head off, he's out now.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I mean, that's insane. There's a girl, I read some.
No, wait, hold on. He's out in the public?
Yeah. He got out. Yeah.
No.
He only did like 5 years.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you nuts? He claimed insanity, first of all.
The guy who cut the dudede's head off
On the
a
Greyhound bus in Canada,
is
yeah.
out walking the streets
Yes.
right now in Canada. No, I don't believe
I believe
it.
he's in a halfway
Show
house or
me.
something, but go ahead, Kumar, pull it up.
Fucking guy.
I mean, Simon, there was a girl, so apparently some streamer who played CSGO, a female chick, she got 116 separate counts of fraud, and she got sentenced to 116 years in prison.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, you hear a story about that where you're like, this guy sawed someone's head off
And
on
he's
a
out.
Greyhound bus.
Yeah.
How is he possibly out walking? This girl gets 117 years
either-
for fraud. Like,
Dude,
it's a
the
really
guy
weird
gets
system.
fucking 30 years for a joint or whatever.
Yeah, well, that shit, I mean, we know that's insane.
But I saw a report. There was a guy who just released in, I think it was Victoria or Vancouver. And it was like he served his time as a sexual assaulter, and we believe he's probably going to fuck up again. Just warning the public this guy's out on the loose again. That's Canada.
Well, I mean, it's like the pedophile argument, right? These guys get out of jail and then they have to tell you where they live. But really, if you fuck some kid against their will, I mean, should you get out of jail? Like, what are the crimes that should keep you in jail forever? Murder.
Rape is worse than murder, I think. Because a murder, you kill the victim. With rape, you like initially hurt the victim and create another victim. Like,
I mean, keep in mind, with murder, it's not just the victim. It's everyone in their wake. If you kill me, yeah, I'm dead. I get that. That's all I feel. But everyone that anyone that cares about me.
So this is more. We sit here, we're talking.
Yeah.
You get killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. We
Is
sit
it?
here talking. You get raped.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking
Hilarious.
harder.
Is that what you mean?
No, it's much harder.
But at least I'm alive.
Okay, I guess so. We feel
I'd
bad
rather have Matt raped than Matt dead. That's a total no-brainer to me.
I'd
If
rather
he's
have
raped-
Matt raped than dead too.
If he's
But-
raped,
but-
I can't help him get over the rape.
What
He's
if
dead.
What if Matt's raped and never gets over it?
Well, then
and just ruins him for
then
the rest of
he
his
can-
life.
We can discuss amongst ourselves whether we want to kill him, and I can help him or whatever.
I mean,
you know
again,
what I
I'm
mean?
still alive.
Yep.
So it's
I'm going to talk about you like you're not here, though.
clearly like what the fuck.
Anyways, I think rape should be probably depending on what it's such a slippery slope.
If
But
if
hold
you
on,
do
Kamar.
die, Matt, it's going to be at a plant's hand. I can tell you that much.
Kamar, rape is considered like a heinous crime when it's convictable. It's like we consider it something that we lock people up for a very like fucking
So
Harvey
if,
Weinstein.
so if rape is that bad, then rape of a child is that much worse.
Worse.
You know?
He just asked what you should be locked up for, and I just had an inner dialogue with
Yeah,
him.
oh,
No, but forever.
Rape or
forever.
murder.
You equate rape and murder the same.
Well, Vince Lee, man who beheaded passenger on Greyhound bus, given absolute discharge, posted February 10th, 2017.
So where does he live right now?
I don't know, down the street from you.
Well, could you tell me where he lives right now?
He's driving your Uber.
I don't take Uber, but fuck, maybe.
For our American listeners, this gentleman somehow managed to, on a Greyhound bus, saw off another passenger's head with other passengers on the
It
bus.
doesn't even make sense when you say it out loud.
Again, as I was saying it, I was like, am I right about this? But that
what
was it.
happened.
Yeah, that was the story.
And didn't he eat something of that man? I think he ate something.
I mean, I'm
on
not
that
gonna go
man.
Yeah,
there.
he ate parts of his head.
Okay, and this guy is out. Where is he out? I have to know where he's living, and how is this even possible? That guy was in less time than like.
Come on, he's either in Fort Mac or Montreal.
I think he's in Manitoba. I can't find it.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
There you go, Simon. He's in Manitoba. He's far away. You don't have to worry about it.
Not criminally responsible. They say he's on the right drugs. He's fine. It's a tough one.
Meanwhile,
Not criminally responsible.
What was your favorite
Jesus.
podcast of the week?
it's my favorite podcast of the week.
That's a no-brainer.
Obviously, Salad. And
Salad Eno.
No, I'm gonna go with the one that angered me. What's his name? Wesley Hunt.
Wesley Hunt.
You'd recommend that someone to listen to that one?
I would actually, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen, whether you agree with them or not, I think they have some good discussions and there's some good points that make you listen. You got to talk about this stuff. You got to rethink your own thought every once in a while, and maybe you end up at the same point. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
Your theory, though, Joe.
Double
something else,
agent.
man. Well, either unknowing or knowing, both situations work for me. Like he thought he was helping, and then it just he's so toxic to the other side that's what happens. Or more likely because he moved to Texas, Maddie's right on the fucking ball.
Like Joe says, he's a moron. So I don't think he could pull it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
that's
he's-
what a young CIA person trying to make their druthers would tell you to say.
Holy shit! Does that mean Jamie's his handler?
This fucking guy.
We've gone too deep. Who do you think is going to be on next week?
That would mean Jamie was his handler.
Jamie's his handler. Jamie's the boss.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Wow.
Or Brian was his handler. Wouldn't it be Brian?
Wow.
Whoa, wouldn't it be Brian?
Why?
Well, because
Always known him the whole time.
and Brian started the whole thing, so Brian would be the initial handler.
Well, and then passed him off
Yeah,
to
of
Jamie
course.
because
'Cause he made his druthers.
Well, Brian took
he
on
made his druthers.
a new
killed
target.
Tony.
Hinchcliffe, because that's the golden pony. They think
you
he's
go.
going to be the next Joe Rogan.
Just attaching dots, guys.
He,
This has
he
been.
should have hitched his star to Burt Kreischer.
We've been here for 5 hours. Can
Oh, yeah,
we,
let's
uh,
get outta
We've
here.
been waiting for Tom and Push to
Tom
go
and
on,
Pash,
but
yeah.
haven't happened. So I
Yeah,
think
you were sure about that one too.
I'm sure of it too. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Tom.
For all we
Hanks.
know, it could have been fucking recorded already.
And
a
you
Hunter.
might see both of them. You might see all of them. Chappelle, Your Mom's House, and Kanye all coming up.
I personally hope it's 3. Back to 3.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll put some good fucking shit out into the world. I'm gonna say I think Dave Chappelle will be on this week.
He's back on the train.
Well, I think Burt Kreischer will be on this week.
And if he doesn't talk about Caitlyn Jenner, there'll be hell to pay on this show next week.
Yeah. No, I'm down with that for sure.
And if
There
Joe
will be
has
hell to pay,
Caitlyn
yeah.
Jenner on his show,
at least mention of it.
That would be awkward. No, they're mortal enemies.
I give up.
Why? What if she
Okay.
she came on?
She hates him.
I give
But
up.
what if
I'm
she
done.
came on and was like, "I've let it go, baby. It's fine." And I have a new Netflix show.
Actually, if she goes on and they're
Simon loves it.
if she goes on and they get along like a house on fire, and
Then I'm
there's
done.
nothing, then we're done.
Yeah.
It's over. This podcast is over.
That's it. That's fair. That's a
We're
fair.
all in
It
agreement?
becomes a movie
This is
review
an
podcast.
Yes, this is an agreement.
This is an agreement.
Thank you.
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah. You're walking away,
We're
Simon?
not done yet.
Just say keep your eyes open.
Oh, you've said everything you need to say?
I have nothing to say. We've been here
Don't
for 5
you say,
hours.
though,
Thank you so much, guys.
You don't do that on the post show?
I mean, I usually thank them, but I'm tired.
You
And
don't talk about like social media, anything like that? I'm just asking.
Oh,
Keep your
like my
fucking
hatred?
eyes
No, I don't.
open.
No, I don't
You
mention
do
that on
the
here.
post
No.
show? Yeah.
How long? 104 of these you've been here for?
Have I been here
More.
more than 104?
Well, this is 105. So yeah.
When's the 2 year?
Plus the throwbacks on the Patreon. November 2nd.
Oh my God. Actually, you know what? So technically, we recorded our first ever
Yes.
episode yesterday.
That's true.
2 years ago yesterday.
Our first
October
Hidden episode.
October 17th was the date that Canada legalized weed.
Yeah.
So congrats
Yeah.
to us too
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
2 years,
yeah,
one
yeah.
day.
Oh, as if that.
So
Isn't that so
October.
cool?
So just for you guys, real
Man,
quick,
as if that episode is.
in closing, we did record.
I should go on the Patreon.
What happened was we bought a Zoom.
Well, what was the first episode?
Just we bought a Zoom. This is what happened. We bought the Zoom. We were super excited. We get back to my place. We unwrap these terrible mics, these terrible mic shits, whatever. We set it all up, and then we put the card in, and we realized that the card hadn't been formatted. So it takes like 2 hours. So we had to sit there all amped and jived, and we talked our asses off, of course, for 2 hours, sitting there waiting. Finally, the card gets ready, and he asked me about my week, and I talked about some guy taking his shirt off at hip hop karaoke, and you were just like, you weren't having it because you were like, it's too long a story. This isn't what we're here to talk about.
What? Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was?
No, him. He wasn't.
Oh,
too
you
happy
were
about
me
it.
back
Yeah.
then.
Anyway, the episode didn't go great, and we recorded it improperly. So like I recorded it, so I couldn't edit any of it. So there was that, and then we recorded one after that also didn't make the cut. Something happened.
The lady at the start.
You badmouthed her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's what set us up for a November 1st start, which is technically our 2 year. But if you want to get real about it, sitting here right now with you guys is 2 years plus a day of podcasting. As far as releases go, we're
November 2nd,
November
I think,
2nd,
is
I'm
actually
with
the
you,
date.
It's fine. I'm just sitting here saying that 2 years ago, yesterday, the three of us bought the equipment and sat down in my basement.
This is amazing that we have Shure mics.
I can remember sitting at that with Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now we're here. But I listened to the first episode the other day, Nostalgic. And there's a point where Simon thinks there's a correlation between having your headphones on and the microphone working.
What?
You're like taking your headphones off to talk or something. I'll play it for you. It's funny.
Adorable.
No theme music.
How far we've come.
Cold start.
We've come a long way.
It's so funny. And
Cold
cute.
start. There's no, you don't do your little fucking thing.
No.
When did that start?
I think the next episode.
Well, don't forget too, Chico doesn't come into the mix until December 17th of 2018.
Oh, he doesn't even exist.
Nope.
He's not even as old as this podcast.
No, he exists. We adopted
but
him.
You didn't have him.
That's what I'm saying. So for the first, I guess 6 episodes,
Oh, he
it's
says
just
it differently.
it's just
Gotcha.
Simon, Kamara, and Matt Floyd.
Gotcha.
And then I think actually once Chico came in is when you really started introducing the intro that you now have.
But I wanted to do it different every time.
Yeah.
But what I've realized in the weather is that's more work than it is fun.
Yeah.
How are you going to do it different every time? Just a different.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience.
I wish
That'd be
you had
different.
done that.
I will do it. I've always wanted to mix it up. Exactly. You see, it's an artist's fucking plight, man.
It's just one of those things where I don't think we have it in us to do what the Simpsons do with a different intro every week and keep it live and fresh.
No, I don't think so either. But I wanted it to be
I know.
that. I realized that.
I wish we had it in us too. That's it. Goodbye.
Keep your eyes open.